everybody, and welcome back to another Taylor Swift album review video. Today, we are going to be looking at the album Level. Now, as I said, I believe I said in the last video, I'd be rating them on the lyrics, my overall, subjective feel about it, and then I did say, the objective feel of it, but I mean, because I can't give opinions objectively, I guess, unless I know it's a known fact. So, I guess I meant, I'm going to look at the lyrics, I'm going to rate my subjective feel of the album as a whole, and then I'm going to rate it, I'm going to compare it to the other albums. So it'll have its standalone ranking, and then it'll have it compared to other albums ranking. But anyway, let's get into it. So this is Level. This is Taylor Swift's, if I remember correctly, it was her sixth. No, it's not her sixth. Wow, I'm an idiot. It was her seventh studio album. It came out in 2019, before everything went to crap. But the thing about Level is, there's nothing really major going on, I would say, in 2019. We didn't find out until later, like in 2020, that COVID really did kind of stall late 2019. But we got this in, if I remember correctly, we got it in either July or August. So we got it as a summer album, which is very, it's very, aesthetically like the album. The album is very, poppy. This is her most pop album in terms of glitter gel pen pop, because I would say her biggest pop album is 1989. We all know that. It's the pop bible, as a lot of people say. But this album is very glitter glitter gel pen pop. And an interesting thing I learned about the album after a while after it came out is that every single song on this album is about love. They're about different kinds of love. You'll have songs like Soon You'll Get Better, where it's a love for her mother, as her mother was battling cancer at the time. You have London Boy, which is a fade to her ex Joe Alwyn, and about how she was in love with him. Miss Americana was still a love song, but it was about the politics of America at the time, which at the time we were nearing the end of former President Trump's 4 years in office, and we were making our way towards the 2020 election, which at the time, I can't remember if we knew it was going to be against Joe Biden and Trump, but we were making our way towards that election, and if anyone remembers, that was a pretty stressful election. Every single song on this album is some sort of love, whether it's motherly love, familial love, romantic love, friendship love, and stuff like that. The album I freaking love the album color. I love the pastels, and I love the aesthetic of the album. I love the tips. I love the blue and the pink tips. I want to say too, since by the time this video comes out, we got the announcement for the Torture Codes Department, and we've all seen the back of the very first one At the time I'm recording this, she's announced 2 other variants to the original. So there are now 3 different variants of it, all with that there's one little additional song to it. And I have a feeling she might announce another one. She might not, but I have a feeling she might. But that comes out April 19th, and this video will probably come out in the middle of March sometime, so we'll have about a month till it comes out. I'm super excited for that. But anyway, back to Lovell. This is kind of, if you've seen the back of the original Tortured Poets Department, you kind of tell it's kind of the same thing as this, just instead of her being happy and like looking off in a very I see something I love way, she has her head in her hands, her eyes are closed, kind of like a, oh, you're losing me type of way. I do think that since it's a synth pop album, I believe that it is going to be the antithesis to Lovell, because if you'll remember, her relationship with Joe Alwyn in terms of her music really starts in the Reputation era, because if you look at Reputation, which I'll explain this more when Rep TV comes out and I get the album, so I get the album so that I can review it. I'll explain more that it actually is a love album. While there are elements of Calma Zabi. Anyway, I do believe that the Tortured Poets Department is the antithesis, because this one is all about Joe. In terms of her love life, this album is all about Joe, and then Midnights is, and then we got Midnights, which is kind of the, I get mixed emotions from it. There's happy emotions, there's sad emotions. I don't believe it's a breakup album, but I also believe that it has those notes of, oh, Joe and Taylor are doing so well. She's reminiscing on good times, but she's also like, hey, something's happening between us. We need to fix it, otherwise it's not gonna work out. And then we got the song You're Losing Me, which tells you right there that her and Joe are definitely not doing well. But I think even before we got the song You're Losing Me, we were informed that they broke up. But anyway, it's kind of like, this one is, it's kind of like Lovell is the album where it's like, I'm in love with you. Midnights and You're Losing Me is, I'm still in love with you, but there are problems we need to work out, otherwise it's not going to work. And then I think that Tortured Poets Department is going to be, you lost me, and you can't get me back. So I'm super excited for that, but I've talked so much about that, the new album, but it kind of ties in, I've talked so much about the new album, but it kind of ties into Lovell. But this, I got lucky. I got freaking lucky with these, because I got, so the limited edition, she sold the limited edition pink and blue vinyls, pastels, colors. I got lucky that Amazon still had like 3 of them left, so I got the pink and the blue limited edition vinyls. I'm very happy about that. But let's talk about let's talk about the songs for a second. So the songs are amazing. I would say that in my personal, so I guess I'll just get right into it. My personal ranking of this album is, it's my 3rd favorite album. I would like to say, I really want to say that I like Red before Lovell, but I just don't think it's possible. I just think that I like Lovell as a whole more than Red as a whole. Like, Red definitely has some better songs than Lovell has, but as a whole album, Lovell is just that much better. And I know I'm saying that over the album that gave us All Too Well 10-minute version, Stay Stay Stay, 22, Come Back Be Healed, Better Man, Safe and Sound in one. Like, it's crazy, but the album opens up with a really interesting song, I Forgot That You Existed. And to me, that's just like kind of us telling. I don't know if I Forgot That You Existed is about Joe, or it's about like her previous relationships, or if it's even about friends. But to me, it more sounds like she's talking about friends that have kind of backstabbed her, and she's like, whatever. But anyway, we all love Cruel Summer. Come on, you can't not like Cruel Summer. But out of this album, since I rank it my third most favorite album, it is a no skip album for me. I used to not like It's Nice to Have a Friend, False God, and Death by a Thousand Cuts, but that changed rather quickly. But like all these songs all really, like, most of these songs are really poppy and little gen pop, like I've been saying this whole time. Except like Lovell is the most subdued one. The outro is emotional, I would say. Death by a Thousand Cuts is emotional too, but all these songs are great. My next point though is that the song Me is highly overhated. I don't know why people got on that bandwagon of hate so quickly, and I don't understand why. But it's a great song, and whoever bullied her into taking out, hey kids, spelling is fun, you suck, to say the least. But it's whatever. I can still listen to Me all I want and not care what anyone says. But I don't really have much more to say about this album, just because I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm not one of those Swifties who has to do their research on every little thing Taylor Swift does, and the reason that she writes certain songs, or the reason she gives albums certain aesthetics. I'm not that kind of Swiftie. I just love Taylor Swift and I love her music, and I just want to make these videos because they're fun things to do. They're also easy to edit, unlike my gaming videos. But I just wanted to start making these Taylor Swift videos about the album reviews and stuff. And there are some eras that I know more about than I don't. Like, I know a lot more about the Reputation era than I know about the Lovell era. I know a lot more about the Folklore and Evermore era than I do the debut era. I didn't become Swiftie until I didn't even know who Taylor Swift was. I'm sorry. I didn't know who Taylor Swift was until Reputation. So, but I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. But like, I'm following her now on this journey of making music, breaking all these records, and it's kind of fun, and I love her music. But back to Lovell for our final like stays on it. Lyrically, I would give this I'd probably give this album lyrically I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. I just don't feel like the lyrics are really there. They all in some of the songs, like Death by a Thousand Cuts alone, I give it like an 8 out of 10. But the lyrics as a whole, they just kind of feel like lyrics to me. They don't feel like they will super planned out, which I know they won't, but I've seen the Miss Americana documentary. I know. But I wouldn't really, the lyrics to me are just lyrics. I've already said that I would rank this album third on my subjective, like how much I like it. But even then, subjectively, I would say that this album compared to her other albums as a whole, ironically, I can rank out of 10 because there's only 10 studio albums right now. But I would probably give it. I would rank this a 5 out of 10 probably, because I would put Reputation and 1989 above it, and even though I like Level better than Speak Now and Red, I still believe that Speak Now and Red are better albums. I think they were better eras as well. I don't feel like there was much of an era to Level. To be fair, part of that aspect is because we got robbed of Levelfest. Because Levelfest was supposed to be the total full Level, but it got interrupted after, I don't know how many shows she did, but only after like a few shows did it get interrupted by COVID. Because I believe she started the toll maybe in late 2029, maybe even early 2020. But then we all got locked down in March of 2020, so yeah, we got robbed of Levelfest, which I hate, because if we had Levelfest, it would have been broadcast over TikTok like the Eras Tour is now, but I think it would have been so cool and the vibe would have been so amazing. I really wish we would have had Levelfest, but it didn't work out. But I will say, because it didn't work out, we got Folklore and Evermore, some of her best work to date. So there's an upside and a downside to it. But I will say, as a standalone album, this album is, I would say it's an 8 out of 10. It's not completely sonically cohesive, which, again, I state that albums don't need to be sonically cohesive to get a 10 out of 10. But they almost feel a little bit better when they're sonically cohesive. And for the most part, this album is. There's only a few songs that it kind of changes pace. But it's still a great album. But this has been my review of the Level. If you guys want to see more, subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on, because more of these will be coming out. Reputation TV has still not been announced. I don't think it'll be announced anytime soon when this video is coming out, because I do believe that she wants us to be in the Tortured Poets Department era for longer than she's given us for like 1989 and the Speak Now eras, or the re-record eras. So if anything, I think Web TV will probably only be announced, it'll probably be announced late 2024, like probably late summer, but we'll see. So the next album that I review is probably going to be 1989. or it might be total Post Malone. Who knows? This has been my review of the Level album. Thank you guys for watching so much, and I will see all of you in the next one.